Hello, everybody. We're jumping right into it a little bit early because my wife needs to sleep. So hey, it's Ace Attorney.
Again, 5 minutes early. You see why I was confused, right?
Yeah.
We've been sitting in this call for like 10 minutes, and you're like, we're gonna go early, and I'm like, 5
But
minutes?
not that early.
You could have just asked me. I probably would have been able to go by 6. Oh, right.
All right.
I was upset.
Yeah.
And I still am.
Yeah, I called the stream "How Dare They," frankly. The
Frankly,
inspector's
how dare they.
death. Are you serious, Gina?
Ginny.
Inspector Gregson was really shot?
Don't do this.
I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene.
I forgot about this too. Of course, this would be how he hears about fucking Gregson.
Yeah.
Why is Herlock Sholmes Super God Super Saiyan? What the fuck happened?
Don't worry about it.
It's actually just called Super Saiyan God these days or something. I think they changed the name.
I think they just call it Super Saiyan Blue because
Super Saiyan Blue, that's what they
Super
changed it
Saiyan is
to.
Stupid.
Yeah. They changed the name to Super Saiyan Blue. That's what it was.
Where did this
That movie was
place?
good though, where they just kept saying Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
It was pretty good. I liked most of the movies. Resurrection F was kind of fucked up. It's crazy how they do the entire movie and then undo it and just kind of do it again.
Yeah, it's simple. It's shrimple even.
Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. Fresno Street? The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. I know where Gregson lives, don't worry about it.
Lived.
He was perhaps investigating a case then. Thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there.
Oh, how strange.
The boss was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I'd be a proper detective. Aw.
I know you were, Gina.
Oh, Ginny.
I'm not even necessarily mad about Gregson himself dying. I loved Gregson, obviously. Fish and Chips, Infinite
Yeah.
Man. I'm more upset because I was like, fuck yeah, he's adopted Gina. It's gonna be great. And then, like, what if we pulled a little prank on Gina? What if we re-orphaned her?
So who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? They got him already.
Already?
They've caught the shooter so soon?
Yeah, he was in a McDonald's only a few hundred miles away.
A witness reported
That's
something
topical.
was going on, and the boys got straight down there and took care of him.
Who? What awful person did this?
It's gonna be someone we know.
It's gonna be like Kazuma or some shit.
I still can't believe it myself.
Gina?
Was it Van Zeeks? It was the Reaper. Oh shit.
Who is?
Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Van Zeeks for it? That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss. No, Lord Van Zeeks.
Straight up was Van Zeeks. That was my second guess. But I really thought they were gonna make it Kazuma for some convoluted reason.
It's like, I know we're gonna have to defend whichever one of them it is. Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Barak Van Zeeks Van Zeeks the police have arrested. I saw him with me own eyes in the interview room at the yard.
He's in the interview room and he's like, Gregson, I don't want his blood, it's full of calories. Have you ever seen it? It's viscous. Like a soup.
Far
I guess
too
soups
thick
can be
for
all-
me.
Who is not a vampire.
Not a vampire.
I am not a vampire. I don't believe it.
But there were witnesses. I almost went into vampire. That was
There
that
were
was crazy.
witnesses.
But there were witnesses. They're all saying it was him.
So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses?
They heard a gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and that Reaper bloke in a room. But there's no
Maybe
way
Gregson
Lord Van
pulled a
Zieks-
little prank.
There's no way Lord Van Zieks would have taken Gregson's life.
Oh, we don't know that.
I just
for
don't
sure.
believe it.
I don't believe it either.
Stop that!
No. Of course, they did this during Sherlock's fucking blue hair Miku phase.
Thank you for informing
God
us,
damn
Mr.
it.
Lestrade. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you all saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Or did I? Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over the scene right now. Please come and all, as soon as you can. You gotta help.
Bye, Gina.
Looks
Poor
so
Gina.
sad. The detectives lot to appear wherever some sinister plot is unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I failed to see something like this coming, hmm? How could I let this happen to Gregson? To Gregson. Mr. Nardo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you could glean. I'm sure you are intending to do so anyway. Until later, then. Inspector Gregson dead, and Lord Van Zieks arrested. Bruno, Susie, I've called you a
that's it.
handsome... What? It's waiting outside. A cab, I guess,
It's a
probably.
carriage, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mrs. Zato?
Yes. That's all I had to say.
Yes. I just had to remind you I was here. I assume the prison. You in prison? He's just reading.
Hey,
Hi, mall
Mall
guy.
I'm brooding. It's what we creatures of the night do.
1st November, local prison.
Do you
Cell
like
1.
my one candle? They gave me more, but I only need the one.
There he is, Lord Van Zieks behind bars. Oh, I'm going to
So
a
it's
concert with a
true.
MILF on Friday. Hot damn. I hope it's you. Otherwise, I'm not sure why you shared this news.
Otherwise, I did, you know.
Probably lots of people,
Fucking-
TBH.
Guess who's doing it? Some guy I know. Some guy I vaguely know. A guy I passed on the streets. He told me about it. He was just yelling it out loud.
Anyone who would listen.
So it's true. He really was arrested.
Sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zieks? But...
Fancy meeting you here.
That's
You
the
come here
funniest
often?
way.
The last place on earth I'd like to be. With the last place on earth I'd like to see. Last person on earth. Fuck my rhyme. Hold on. The last place on earth I'd like to be. And the last person on earth I'd like to see.
I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was...
Sorry.
I came here to laugh at you.
Couldn't very well not come. Go ho. This has nothing to do with you.
But
Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe to him to find out the truth about his death. We must help with our You must help us with our investigations, please. There's really nothing I can tell.
what were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case?
No, it's smart. This. The art isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with a suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance. Oh, who might that be? Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Hairbrain.
Of course, yes. I keep forgetting they went to the same university. Choked on my tongue a second there. Don't worry about it.
And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know?
Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zeeks never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. What happened?
Can you show him your badge?
Hold
Can
on,
you show him the badge?
I do have to show
The
him.
armband?
I bet we will have to do that. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zeeks? What happened?
How much do you already know?
Not much.
We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street.
And that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested.
We were told that there was nobody else in the room, and that some witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed. And there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened to myself.
But the gunshot, obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you?
Who knows? Have you ever heard of a duck blur?
It was you. Okay, good.
I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise. However, before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers.
So he doesn't actually know what happened.
If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with?
You may not.
I don't need to answer that. Oh,
None of your
I don't-
beeswax.
I don't know. Do you know Nanya? After all, you're not representing me.
He is going to need a lawyer, though.
What if he doesn't? What if he represents himself?
I guess he could. It would be bad, but he could do that. Professor Hairbrain's letter. After the trial, Professor Hairbrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought.
It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. You know, like those texts when your friends leave your house and they're like, I made it back and didn't die. The relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean? Yeah, so it seemed. Your stooped little Nepalese friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day.
Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo.
Something about a cat.
Something about
So,
a cat.
Professor Hairbrain. So, Professor Hairbrain is safely back in Germany now.
It's a letter. B.
B.
And on the back is a note.
Oh, fuck, I haven't thought about that in forever.
And there's also this message.
Dude, what is that fucking from?
I think it's from an episode of SpongeBob.
Okay, that could be it. I can hear the dialogue, but I can't remember anything about it. I think I already read this, but I'll read it again.
I was trying to
So
think
Professor,
about it.
oh, he is. You can see. Look how much time he had to draw this very arousing picture of us.
It is SpongeBob.
I
thought
don't-
so. Your
I don't know
defense.
why he included that.
Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zeeks?
Your mother.
mother.
Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know.
But this is different.
In my career, all of the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in
3?
mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now.
That's incredible. Only 3 of them have ever lived.
We call it a hell of a coincidence where I'm from,
ridiculous. That's quite a percentage.
which is England. Correlation is not causation, I tell people. Surely not. I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole.
But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you?
I don't have to answer that. It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bale. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that.
What does he mean by that? Anyway, get the hell out of my cell.
So, it appears our conversation has run dry.
There was a 2-second silence, that's all.
And I'm bored now. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you.
I was wondering, Lord Van Zeeks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. Fuck no, you wouldn't.
Are you the dumbest man in the world?
Are you taking the piss?
Are you taking the entire shit right now? What are you on about? Like all his accent drops and he just goes, are you fucking mental?
You fucking with me right now. That's right, I'm Australian.
Almost straight. You trust me, do you?
Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly.
It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one.
What?
Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nipponese.
But please.
I have no intention of engaging your services.
The chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems.
I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time.
Damn.
See, that's why you had to show him the armband before.
Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. I mean, I imagine the way... Oh, I can't.
Oh, maybe you can still present it. Nope.
It's grayed
That's
out.
why I told you to do it. You dumb bastard.
Looking
Now
back,
we
I
missed the
imagine what's gonna
chance.
happen is we're gonna go to Strongheart and he's gonna go, "You're doing it."
You're doing it, laddie. It's on you.
Your turn.
Would you?
Would you?
Ooh. Do you think that photo of the lady that's bathed in direct light is important?
Probably. 1st November, room on Fresno Street.
I was really expecting there to be a discarded bag of chips. I'll be honest.
This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down this back street. So this dust-ridden, rented old room is where it happened then. The room where
Hey,
it
you know what's
happened, if
interesting?
you will.
The windows aren't bricked up, which must mean the window tag.
There's also a red wig on the ground, which we'll get to in a second, I'm sure.
So this... No, it's not important, actually. It comes with the room. It's complimentary. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life.
Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't see Mr.
Yeah,
Sholmes
one guy's
anywhere,
making
though.
sure that gun's not going anywhere.
Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere.
It's like those...
Oh. I'd like your help, but unfortunately I am very racist. Oi,
I'm
what do you
so-
think you're doing there?
I fucking hate people from Japan specifically, and I will say this every time I speak. It's one of
getting
my
very
character
uncomfortable.
traits. It's one of those things that you can't really ignore anymore at all, because I keep bringing it up apropos.
Every one of them drawers has got to be taken right out so you can look underneath and all. I want a space above the ceiling check, and don't forget to look inside the chimney snack too. Blimey, ain't you lot never gone over house looking for dough when the owners are out of town? Well, Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. Ah! Oh, so you turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Hello again, Gina. Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that. He went prancing around in here, pointing at stuff and flicking that out of his and good God. There's too many apostrophes. Out of his and then just scarping.
Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean?
Yeah.
What?
He didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, Otto. You're a lawyer, right? Yes. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are you? Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever.
Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Seeks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court.
I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Otto, get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here. Thank you, Gina. Time to click on some stuff. Number 1, this very obvious painting.
It's a photograph stand.
Or photograph, one of the two.
You can tell by the way it's in a photography frame and not like framed like a painting would be.
Yeah.
I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members.
Why? He didn't own this place.
Ah.
What's the matter?
Wife?
Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your
dead
head.
Wife? They are! Look, Mr. Naruto, quickly!
Whoa.
Oh! It's that lady.
Why do I
That
feel
was
like this
dating
woman
the-
is familiar
The prison
somehow?
warden
Yeah, the prison warden who disappeared.
disappeared.
I forgot
We
that
don't
was
know
still
anything
a
about-
thing. We were in the middle.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of figuring that out when some other shit happened.
When Gregson died. Of course she's familiar. We only met her this morning.
Ah, it's Mrs. Vigil.
This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here?
To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped.
I'm sorry to say I have no idea either.
Oh no, the smart person doesn't know what's going on. The framed photograph has been entered to the court record. Should we take a peek
Can
at
we
that
turn
right
it
away?
around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we take off the back?
Ah, no. It's just a
Really?
picture.
Damn it.
Damn, I was thinking the same thing. The chimney. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it?
It's thick with dust. Look. I think it would be fair to say it has been used in a very long time.
In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather.
Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely.
No, that's right. It's one or the other. I appreciate that she won't call Ryunosuke stupid directly. She'll only imply it until he understands.
This looks like some sort of notice board or something.
And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper.
Ah, Mr. Naruto, look!
This you mean? It's an autopsy report, isn't it?
And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates.
Yes. In fact, they're all sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room?
Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here.
Oh yes, the advertisement, you mean? To the Red-Headed League. But why?
Ah, the red wig.
What's that doing here?
Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason.
A cop. Excuse me. Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir. Poor man. He can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Oh, I see. He was crying. He wasn't addressing us.
Inspector.
This is presumably the murder weapon, then.
Oh. Oh my. Is it real, I suppose?
I think
It
so.
is real.
Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them.
There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruto. Fire a shot.
No! No, no, no! If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer to just ask someone who might know, I think. The killer's revolver has been entered into the court record.
Look
Hello.
at that.
Excuse me. Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Right. Perhaps I'd better leave you to your work, then. Damn, I'm sorry, mustache guy. Oh, what's this?
It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way.
Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson?
It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zeek's playing with something like this.
It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case.
Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful, after all. In a way.
There's no fucking way this thing isn't, like, key evidence. This thing's gonna turn the whole shit around. Can we look at this?
Yeah, nothing makes
And the
sense
gun, I
until we
guess.
put that in.
I look at him.
The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear.
I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost
And
as
the
if
helmet,
somebody
come
has
on.
enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Shall we try twisting it around and around too? For fun. Ooh! Why is this a knife? Ah, what's that?
It appears to be some sort of key.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. But it's tiny, though. It couldn't be a key for a door, not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder? The details of the policeman figure have been updated in the court record. Oh, yeah, that is a key, isn't it?
Yep.
I thought it was a knife.
Can you click on the key part?
Yes, I think. This looks like some sort of key.
Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key.
What's a little key doing inside a figurine of a policeman in the first place? And what's it for? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Good gun? There's a ring on it. That's weird. I suppose this must have been the murder weapon.
Oh my, it is real, I suppose.
I think so. Guns are so rare. Is this literally the same dialogue?
It's literally the same dialogue, yeah.
Perhaps someone more familiar with firearms could shed a light on things here. Oh, so I guess this ring is not weird. Nothing else to click on this particular gun either.
They don't know. They gotta find someone that knows guns. If only Winterbank was still around.
Damn. Truly our heaviest loss. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing.
Oh, funnily enough, neither can I.
It's a hairpiece, isn't it?
It is. It is a bright red hairpiece.
I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it?
Will you wear wigs? Then will you wear
wear
wigs? And such a flame-colored red, too.
Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it.
I know she's right, but the way they're both going around this room like, this must be a clue, and putting things in their pocket is very funny to me.
I hope the Red-Headed League isn't a Red Herring League.
Oh, shit. So I suppose this is where the victim...
That's right. The rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away.
And would probably be under Dr. Scythe's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week.
From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball.
Hmm.
Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruto? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
I know it's just a rope, but... Well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it.
Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality.
Zato-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am. Alright, third cop, what have you got to say? Excuse me. If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard. I've interrupted some deep thoughts there. Boards. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed these boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore.
Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks because of the window tax. This one does at least look... Oh.
I didn't do that.
Then some light, so you could say...
You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. Nothing else in here. Oh, candles. Very important candles. The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off.
Yes, there's wax spattered on the wall behind it. Look.
Because of a bullet, it hit it.
It does seem likely
American
that the bullet
Josh is playing
hit the
Marvel
candle.
Rifles.
Hell yeah. I want to run around in the training thing. It just finally finished update. I need something to do with my hands so I don't fall asleep.
I see.
Not that the game's boring, I just fall asleep when I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, it's just, you know, Josh sleepy. Long day work. Got all those fucking omelet calories.
Omelet. I first passed through the inspector's body.
Ugh. Now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. The candelabrum has been entered into the court record. Can we spin that around? Can I spin this candelabrum around in my brain?
Spin that right around, baby, right around.
Now, I don't think I'm going to get any additional information from it, but I can.
Look, the thing is the thing.
Ah, there are some black marks here, look.
Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks.
So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems.
Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan. So I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them.
Yeah, the rest of this is nothing, I assume, because it's a candelabra. Alright.
What about the VIG?
Oh yeah, we haven't rotated the wig yet.
Get rotated, idiot.
This seems to just be a wig, but I'll click on it anyway. Always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like.
That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruto. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you?
I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep in place on your... Bird lime? To keep it in place on your head. So it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean.
And might be a little inconvenient when you want to take it off again, don't you think?
I'm guessing bird lime is a type of glue or something. Yeah, I don't see anything else interesting inside wig. Alright, I believe we clicked on everything there is to click. Yeah, Yeah, because the door doesn't give me anything, the walls don't give me anything, these paintings don't give me anything. All right, Gina, I've got some conversing to do with you, and then some evidence to present. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? That's what I want to know. It's what, half a year since I got out of the clink. That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead. Oh yes, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he? Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss till then. But it turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard.
Goodness, really?
They say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that. He did. Yup, and ever since then he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what after cases he's working on are, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? Oh, I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all. And look where that landed him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I heard him say as much. I'll take me head off to that fella, what his words. Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why I respected it, bloke. I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard. He says something else to me, you know. That I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after the people what are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Right. A crime scene. What is this place, then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's being rented by some cove called a Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone, sorry.
Hugh Boone.
Hugh Boone.
Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone.
It's a sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, that, isn't it? Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right, all the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into the investigation, but there's so little here, no one knew what to do with themselves.
I do wonder.
Yes, Mr. Sato?
Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Spectre Gregson himself?
What? How
A
could
secret
that be?
identity? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his.
I'd never even considered that. Nice work, Supes. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves. You are? If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hint at it. We should really investigate this place in detail. Yeah, I did. I did that first. Or were you, while you were just yelling at these sobbing men?
I see. That's where the poor inspector was found. Over there.
Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently, the bullet went right through him and struck that candle tree on the wall. Yes, it's blown one of the candles apart completely. And the gun used is there on the floor. It's the Reaper's in it, no denying that. What? Really?
How do you know that?
Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big wide eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. Oh, then you're useless. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him? Bigwig lawman, is it? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot.
Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside.
Yeah, they've all been taken down to the yard for questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. They'll be getting a grilling. You think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. Lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping for, and you'll be up for a grill and all. We can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Alright, we haven't been kicked out of here yet, which makes me think I do have to present some evidence.
Like our
Have
armband.
you seen my armband? This armband is proof, in Japan at least, that I'm a defense lawyer. And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. So you're all gonna have to start calling me Inspector Lestrade. In that case, you'll have to start calling me...
Inspector Lestrade.
Well, anything but Otto.
That'll never catch on.
I could call you Defender Otto if you like, but I don't really trip off the tongue. No, it doesn't have a great ring to it, does it? Alright, anything about this? Gina, what do you make of this? What is that? Evidence? Worked up something out about what happened, have ya? Oh, no, not exactly. I ain't been long enough in a job to get all this deducting business yet. But I swear, I'm gonna get the person what did this to the boss. Gun. Nothing? Yeah, I didn't think so. Little policeman figure. Nope, okay. Vig. Nothing, got it. I don't think she has anything else, I'll be honest.
Bro's got nothing.
Girl, what are you even here for? Do you know anything about the red letter D? Oh, you do, actually. Oh, that business. Yeah, I've inspected a straw here, soon had that one buttoned up. I thought it was Mr. Sholmes who led that pair into a trap, wasn't it? Listen, Otto. It ain't easy going from East End Diver to Scotland Yard detective, right? But anyway, it's all part of the charm, innit? Being a bit loose with the truth when it helps. That's wrong for so many reasons. Maybe I should get Arbus to write stories about me. The adventures of Inspector Lestrade. Know this guy? No? Okay. Worth a shot. Making sure that's nothing. I think that's also nothing. Okay, you didn't know the picture. Well, I don't have anything else to do with you, I don't think. Did we miss anything in the room? I don't think so. Alright, well, there's nothing here. Let's, go, I guess. What if we go to the Lord Chief Justice's office? Is he here? Are you in? 1st November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office.
You've made good time.
I don't know who this is supposed to be. I took an express train back to London. I'll figure out whose voice this is in a second. I can hear Lord Strongheart, can you?
Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone.
Oh, shit. He's got
Is everything in place? Sorry, my throat was a little fucked. I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork.
It's...
Kazuma-sama.
Ah,
Ah, your timing is impeccable.
it is.
No doubt you've heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry.
Yes.
I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zeeks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson. I believe only in the facts. The facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zeeks for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. Oh no, surely not. It's truly a regrettable situation. Tomorrow the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes.
So does that mean the trial is tomorrow?
Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions.
Yeah,
This is Kazuma.
We know who that is. Kazuma.
Ah, but of course. You're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings. Yeah, he's gonna be
Yeah.
leading the prosecution.
Wait. What? Kazuma?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of the law.
Maybe.
Kazuma-sama. A prosecutor?
He's just back there. Fucking mean mugging us. Tomorrow's trial.
I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in the trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock.
Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
So, I know they're obviously setting up this fool as the bad guy, but I feel like he didn't do it directly.
No, definitely not. I mean, the Reaper is almost certainly not one person.
Yeah. Maybe it's a fucking, like, just because I was listening to a Batman thing, maybe it's like a Court of Owls thing.
It's maybe fucking guy who has listened to one Court of Owls thing. It's just like, I'm getting some real Court of Owls vibes here.
But what if, though?
Incredible.
Like, if he didn't do it, he probably knows who's doing it.
Lord Van Zeeks firmly denies any involvement in such matters.
And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent.
That's certainly true. At least has been until now. Ah. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
Okay. Prosecutor Asuku. So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow.
That's right. But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
No, he's not.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles.
What? What do you mean?
And imagine what it'll mean for the prosecution to know strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I've no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor.
But why Kazuma-sama? There's surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
Not that we've showed you.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
You asked for this? But why?
It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Although the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact. You're quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way.
Ah,
After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the empire. It'd be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks.
so that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryunosuke. Let's see how your skills have been honed after practicing law in this land for so many months.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. The killer's gun. Oh yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zeeks?
That would be the question for the lead detective investigating the scene.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know.
That's right, Mr. Naruto. Be direct. It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm
What?
sure you can imagine.
Well, no.
In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim. No, Gregson had his gun on his person.
What about Lord Van Zeeks?
He claims it's currently not in his possession.
Well, I should hope not. He's in jail. What?
According to his story, he lost it.
Well,
In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's is no proof that it's actually his. Of course not.
Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zeeks. I don't suppose you'll tell me anything about anything, will you? I'll start with the wig for some reason. Yeah, this is the no. I'm used to cutscenes just being like, and we're done. We're done now. Goodbye.
You've done it. You finished.
The fact that 2 of them in a row haven't done that makes me think we're not done in those places yet. Oh, maybe you know something about this weird key. I don't know. Nah, nothing. Can we go back to Lord Van Zeeks' office? Because I know he had a miniature with some, like, cops on it.
Oh yeah.
Can we go there? No, probably not. Nah, doesn't look like it. Hey, Susato's dad and judge. This is fucking crazy. You guys here? No? Okay. Why can we still go back here? Maybe he knows something about gun. No, he's not here. Oh, we can look at the things in his room now, though. Or did we already?
Can you?
Oh, we can't.
You already tried, and that you guys went, nah, let's not fuck with him. Remember?
Which is fair. All right. Films a suite. Nope, no one here. The Lord, and we were just there. The hotel we were just at. Oh, hold on. What did that say? If we were not in possession of this, shall we visit elsewhere? The place thick with dust and it's such a chill here, too. Terrifying. These are not actually helpful things. Okay, so there's something at either the Fresno Street room or the Lord Chief Justice's office that we haven't done yet. We're missing something somewhere.
We are missing something.
Eh? Nope, that's not it. Didn't see anything else to click on, though. Oh, this isn't the right menu. Just check all my evidence, see if there's a backside on any of this. Yeah, there was the Blackbird Lion. Bro was fired. Can't look at the backside of this picture. Oh, we can click on the gun now. So this is the type of revolver that's standard issue for members of the judiciary, then. A baffling thing to me, but...
Hey, listen. They got enemies.
They gotta make sure that their lawyers are strapped.
Yes. When I asked about whether records are kept about who they're issued to, I was told that for the past 5 years they've been engraved with a unique serial number.
Oh, but as far as I can tell, there's nothing like that on this gun.
Which tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that.
I see. What if can I look right down the barrel? Rinnesuke holding it up to his eyeball like,
Like Luke with the fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, well, that didn't help. Nope. Nothing on the wig. Nothing in the candelabrum. There's not like a backside. Now, if he was shot and it hit that candelabra, it means whoever shot him did so from below, which is interesting. Could have been a short guy, a short king.
It could have been short. We need someone that's very small.
Yeah, there's nothing else to click on here. Let's ask the game for help before I start asking Google for help. What do we do? Suzato, what do we do? I can't believe it. Inspector Gregson.
It's awful, isn't it? But we must carry on.
I know, but it's just so much to take in. I don't know where to start.
We must start with a thorough investigation of the scene, and we must interview Gina. Then we must go to the prison to speak with the Reaper. Do we go back to the prison?
Thank goodness I have you, Mrs. Sato. You have it all under control, as usual.
You're too kind, Mr. Naruto. I'm afraid I don't have all the answers. I really have no idea how to be around Iris at the moment.
Oh yes, that. Alright, maybe since we investigated the gun, we can go back to the prison now?
That's what I was gonna say, is it's probably you just gotta talk to him a second time.
It won't let me. So, we must be missing something with Gina, then.
Can we present Lord Strongheart?
I can't switch to a menu to present people. And I swear I did everything in this menu. Maybe this one? I don't know. We're just gonna try everything.
What about the picture of that guy?
I think I did that,
Like the
but I'll do it
missing
again.
guy.
Seen this fella? Yeah, because we did this and she did talk about it. Don't know anything about murder weapon? Oh, okay. Don't know anything about little men? No. Don't know anything about the wig? Don't know anything about candelabrum. Okay, then I have no idea.
You try presenting everything to Strongheart.
I did. I feel like he's not gonna tell us anything, but I can try. Spelled attorney wrong. That's not gonna help me. All right, Strongheart, what do you got? Do you know anything about this missing guy? We're looking for a guy. You seen him? Yeah, I didn't think so. Aha! It's new dialogue.
Ah, penned by Dr. Oh,
I used my scroll wheel, my mistake.
penned by Dr. Mikatoba, I see. It's been 10 long years. But you remember my father, do you? Certainly, I remember him. And the other 2 visiting students. Of course, Mikatoba was assigned to the hospital laboratory, so we rarely met. Chigoku, on the other hand, studied our justice system under my personal supervision.
Oh, I see.
As I said, that was 10 years ago now. I'm pleased to see they both made names for themselves in their particular disciplines.
Oh. We can look at Kazuma to talk to him? I don't know why that didn't occur to me.
Hold on a sec.
Just didn't occur to me to click on the guy. I thought he was just kind of
I
standing
didn't
back
click
there.
on that guy.
Menacingly.
I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you. But it'll be alright now.
Has your memory... Has your memory completely returned?
Yes, completely. I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do.
Right.
Kazuma-san. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over.
What do you mean by that?
Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits.
Remember who you are.
Simba. I wish I knew a quote from fucking Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Fucking mask talking to him. It was that voice that guided me here to London. So sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me. But there's something that won't return to the way it was before.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon.
Anyway, get the fuck out of me office. This is me.
This
it
is
doesn't
you.
look like we're gonna glean much more here. Well, thank you very
I
much,
looked at
Lord
it,
Strongheart.
My brain was even like, oh, you gotta read that. And then the rest of me went, wait a second.
No.
Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery.
He doesn't want us to defend him either. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Ah!
Before you go, Ryunosuke,
Oh, what is it, Kazuma?
I just wanted to thank you. Kazuma-sama, what? You took my determination to heart, brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Nardo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh? There's a lady in my head. She called me Stud Muffin. I actually have a favor to ask.
Which is?
The trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me. As the defense counsel.
Huh? Why? What's all this then?
I know you have what it takes.
But Lord Van Zeeks would never put his fate in my hands.
On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He's just very
He does?
racist. It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this.
Look at this photograph. Ah, he's smiling.
It's him and his brother. Man, he looks pained when he smiles, huh?
Yeah. That's...
He also doesn't have the scar in his face. That's Lord Van Zeeks and Inspector Gregson.
And a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And who's the third person? Who the
His
fuck do
brother.
you think it is, Naruto? Come
It's his
on.
brother. Who's this guy that looks a lot like Van Zeeks? He was displayed very prominently in the detective's office.
In Gregson's office, you mean?
Yes, what I'm trying to say is if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it.
Gregson's photograph has been entered into the court record. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over.
What are you doing, Kazuma? I'm still here. I didn't leave. I saw all that happen and I'm just sort of letting it.
I was checking my watch.
1st November. Local prison. Cell 1. Lord Van Zeeks is still reading that letter.
We've been gone quite some time, though.
Either he's an incredibly slow reader or it's an incredibly long letter. I might
It's
even
in the
be able
form
to read
of-
English faster than
it's-
he can.
It's in the form of an equation that he has to fucking decipher, and it just says, hi. I heard you talking shit. I was intending to ignore you entirely. But I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nepalese.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that.
I have ears like a bat. I had the case notes brought to me, in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow. Which is none of your business.
So, have you found a lawyer?
How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This is nothing to do with you.
In other words, no.
We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided. I'd expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is.
It's going to be Kazuma Asugi. Well, he's must be pissed
Asugi.
about that. That made the color drain from his face.
Oh, not the only competent prosecutor but me. Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all.
Thanks. Hey, so this arm...
This armband, right?
I think you know that this is worn by people in my country to show that they're defense lawyers, don't you?
And I think you know that I believed you to be merely playing at lawyer craft. Initially. But it would seem your armband may actually imply some dormant talent after all.
That's almost a compliment. Thanks, Lord Van Zeeks, do you mean?
Let's hope you wake up soon.
Yes, I was clearly daydreaming. I almost thought I got a compliment there. Alright, anyway, I guess we could just, well, I was gonna say we could just ask him about his gun, but then one of the dialogue options is your gun.
10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi. Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father. So what cruel twist of fate it is now, 10 years later. The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court?
I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you.
But the man is a freak. It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset. But what could he have been hoping to achieve?
And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to someone like that?
Asogi. But the name is the very epitome of my pain. The pain that is you Japanese.
Right, your hatred of all us Japanese.
I know writers who
The
use subtext, and
Japanese
they're all cowards. I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer.
The so-called
The
professor.
so-called. Oh
That
fuck!
one
I
was me.
forgot that was. Yes, I got there. It's fine. I'm a vampire. I'm not a vampire.
Bleh. Bleh,
Bleh.
not Bleh.
Not unblay. Well, he even assigned to the investigation as his partner. Was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard.
And that was Genshin Asogi?
Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man.
Whoa.
So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong. Oh, how awful. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented.
I walked up to him and I said, please, 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 until he finally told me to fuck off and that he'd let me.
I began gently slapping his face, repeatedly, over and over. What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the Professor case inquiry, Lord Mail Strongheart.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Lord Strongheart.
He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted. I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor. Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? Ah. And of all things, as a lawyer.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese.
I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years, that hatred has festered inside me. I could no longer control it.
And I can understand why, now I know the history. It's still bad, though.
But in the same way I've long felt the Nepalese to be the bane of my life. To Kazuma Sogi, I am the bane of his. The Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow.
I feel like Kazuma's smarter than that, but... Inspector Gregson.
Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. He was only 1 month from retirement. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a
Yeah.
Something about that phrase is really funny to me. Damn, he's never gonna make it to France. Me looking at someone who just fucking ate shit. It reminds me of my buddy Zach has for some reason been recently quoting damn, he's not gonna be in Rush Hour 2 about lots of things. And it's really killing me, man.
It's true, it's true.
But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy.
Oh, yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he?
And by it I mean France. France is a tragedy. I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean. It's the first time I've ever encountered. Oh. The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable.
You know how racist I am. Just imagine the Paris police.
They're crazy. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place.
It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed.
I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Playing his theme.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself. By uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made.
What sort of approach?
After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago?
Why is that so surprising?
Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed. And my brother was of course a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death.
Though you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then.
And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. I don't have confidence in any. Oh. And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I have no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London.
I have a photograph you might want to see, my friend. Unfortunately, I have another piece of conversation to do first, so... What really went on between Lord Van Zeeks and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of their relationship? Anyway, about your gun. About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene.
Ah, yes. That's not mine.
Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is.
What do you expect me to say to that? Fort Stronghire informed us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm. As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true.
When did you lose it, then?
That, I don't know.
If I knew when I lost it, I might be able to find it.
Oh. I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps.
I don't know. It's been 10 years, and I prefer the sword. What do you want from me?
You have something in common with Lord Van Zeeks after all, Mr. Naruto. A talent for misplacing things.
No. This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it.
Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nepalese. Oh dear. The rift is very wide, isn't it?
So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Anyway, I know exactly how Gregson felt about you. Look at this photo. Actually, hold on. Oh no, there's no backside, damn. Okay. Look at this photograph.
Look at this photograph.
Lord Van Zeeks, we came by this old photograph.
Where did you get that? Taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost.
Is the man on the left there?
Yes, that's my brother, Clint.
The details of Gregson's photograph have been updated in the court record. It had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that?
Back. That's nonsense.
No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less.
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle. An insight into the true nature of this man known to all as the stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. Naruto.
Holy shit, he does know our name. Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name.
I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in.
What's that?
And what you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth.
Lord Van Zeeks.
From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey, almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nepalese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asogi.
The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this photograph?
Just pulled it out again, huh? Back then, I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust any. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe.
I'm so sorry.
So, Mr. Naruto, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Of course I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Narhadil. Then my life is in your hands.
For Lord Van Zeeks. That must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma. Hoping this is a to be continued. Yeah, it'd be wild if it wasn't.
Ah, game just ends.
This is a weird one because I feel like we don't know shit right now.
We sure don't. It's gonna be a lot of nonsense.
I'm guessing there will probably be an investigation part 2 where we get a lot more information. But I think that will do it for tonight. I've got to end early so my wife can sleep. And that's a good stopping point. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow for Pokemon, maybe. We'll see.
Oh, we won't.
We won't catch you tomorrow for Pokemon.
I knew there was something I was forgetting to tell you.
All right, I'll catch you
The
tomorrow
reason
for
I was
Hitman
on
tomorrow.
Monday's stream was because, yeah. You see, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have a good night.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.